Hello, hello. J-Pop is back with more Ever17. Alright.
じゃあよろしくね。
What happened? Okay, she's asking us to get a drink. We're a nice guy, no problem. Oh, well, so any kind of juice is okay?
いいよ。
Sure, anything is fine. Great. I feel like the group hierarchy has sorted itself out. I left the conference room and headed for the kiosk. I had a good idea of where it was from my wanderings around the complex the day before. I went through the rest area on the way. Huh? Something had been left on the bench. It was wrapped chicken sandwiches. I figured these were probably sandwiches that Takashi had made and taken to Sugumi and Sora. I bet that during the blackout they had been forgotten. Alright, I might as well take these along. I took the sandwiches and put them into my pockets. At the kiosk, I started looking for the drinks. There was enough food and drinks for us to survive for days. The only food there was chicken sandwiches and the ingredients to make them, but at least we didn't have to worry about food, meaning we were unfortunately fortunate. I took 6 cans of cola from the kiosk's freezer. Only Sarah had asked, but I thought I'd take back enough for everyone. Here we go. Cradling cola in both arms, I started back. I fat fingered that. Here you go. When I came back, everyone was chatting loudly. Cards were randomly placed on the table facing down. They might have been playing a game. No shit.
おかえり。
Welcome back. I figured since I was there that I'd bring back enough for everyone.
大義でござった。
Thank you, sir. Sarah took 2 of the 2 cans and handed one to you.
はい、先輩にもどうぞ。
Here you go, Naku.
お、気が利くじゃん、少年。
Hey kid, that was sure thoughtful of you. You took the cola from Sarah and popped open the tab. Like a pro, she held the fizz down so it wouldn't explode. She didn't go getting herself all drenched in soda. So, what were you all up to with the cards? I put the remaining 4 cans on the table.
ピロピロピンポンドーンだよ。
Mental guts? What's that? My
あ
question
れ
exactly.
知らないの？ピロピロピンポンドーン。
You don't know. Beep beep boom boom. Never heard of it.
そっか、少年は記憶喪失だから忘れちゃったんだね。超有名なゲームなんだよ。
Oh, I'll bet it went with your memory. It's a super famous game. I realized that I couldn't remember even these kinds of things. I wondered if I should have been more uneasy about my lost memory than I was. First, I thought I'd have a cola. Oh, by the way, I also brought these. I remember the sandwiches and holding the can in my right hand, plunged my hand into my left pocket.
何?
What? This here. I removed the wrapped sandwich.
お、どうしたんだこれ。お前が作ったのか?
Huh? Where'd you get that? Did you make it? It was on the bench in the rest area. Didn't you leave it there, Takashi?
ああ、そっか。空に渡し損ねたやつか。停電の騒ぎの時置いてきたんだった。
Oh yeah, it's the one that I forgot to give to Sora. I left it there during the blackout hubbub. I thought that somebody might be hungry.
おー、素晴らしい。
Oh great.
君って本当に気が利くな。
You are so thoughtful. As I inch closer, you rushed over and violently mussed up my hair. Oh, that's right. I have another one. Feeling good about myself, I put the can in my other hand and went to get the sandwich from my right pocket. What in...
どうしたの？
What's the matter? It's gone. There was nothing in my right pocket.
落としたんじゃないの？
Did you drop it? No way. I didn't think I could have dropped it. Somehow, I felt there was something odd going on.
よし、じゃあこれは空の分だ。
Alright, then this is Sora's. Looking, I saw Takashi holding the sandwich out towards Sora.
朝食べてないだろ?
You didn't eat breakfast, right?
いえ、 私はいいんです。
No, I'm fine.
遠慮するなよ。これ俺が作ったんだけど、味には自信があるんだ。
Don't be polite, I made this. I'm sure it tastes good.
ええ、でも
Still.
おいおい、嘘じゃないぞ。
Hey, I'm not kidding.
そうそう、美味しいのは拙者も保証するでござるよ。
I'll vouch for him, they're pretty good. Me too? Sarah and I both raised our hands in show of agreement.
そら、俺の飯が食えないのか？
Sora, what? You can't eat my food?
そんなことおっしゃられても。
That's not it.
じゃあなんだ？昨日食いすぎたか？それともダイエットか？
Then what is it? Eat too much yesterday? Or are you on a diet?
いいえ、でも
No, but I...
ダメダメ、きちんと食わなきゃ体に毒なんだ。ほら、受け取れ。
No, you have to eat or you'll get weak. Here, take it. He tossed a cola and chicken sandwich towards Sora. They traced a gentle arc through the air. Ah! Sora suddenly reached out her hands. She reached them out, but... But Sora didn't catch them. No, she couldn't catch them. She didn't avoid them. It wasn't that she was too slow. Sora was there with her hands extended into space. The sandwich had fallen at her feet. The cola had violently slammed into the wall behind her and exploded. The spewing cola didn't get Sora wet. The droplets looked like they flew through Sora's body. The sandwich wrapper covered in silhouette of Sora's sandal. If it was if the two had melded together. It's a ghost! Okay, huh? Takashi wasn't the only one surprised. I was confused without a clue. It couldn't have been that it seemed odd because I didn't know from the start. Or maybe it seemed strange because I'd forgotten it. So all I could do was sit there with my mouth agape, my eyes staring at the spectacle.
ですから私はいらないと申し上げたのですが。
That's why I said I didn't need it. Sora made an embarrassed looking expression.
いや、あれだ、俺は。
No, that's what I... Takashi looked completely puzzled.
ちゃんと渡すつもりで投げたんだけど、おかしいな。手が滑っちゃったのかな。
I meant to toss them as if I were handing them over. That's weird. Your hand must have slipped.
すいません。でもちっともおかしくはないんですよ、倉成さん。
Excuse me, Takashi. There's nothing strange about it.
でも、コーラ吹いてる、かかってる。服は大丈夫か？
But the coal blew up, and is your clothing alright?
はい。
Yes.
っていうか、サンド踏んでる足の先がないですよ、ソラさん。
But you're stepping on the sandwich. Your foot. You've got no toes, Sora.
ごめんなさい。
Oh my gosh, sorry about that. And just like that, Sora's vanished toes reappeared. But the place where the sandwich was supposed to be wavered unsteadily. I didn't have any idea what it all meant.
もしかして倉成さんご存知なかったんですか？
I guess Takashi, that you didn't know? Sora was shuffling embarrassedly. Is that a word? It is now.
お前は一体。
Sora, what in the world are you? For some reason, you gave a huge sigh right next to Takashi. And then... laugh. She burst out laughing.
倉成、面白いから黙って見てたけど。
I just had to watch because it was so funny, Takashi.
あんた、本当に何も聞いてなかったのね。
You really don't listen to anything.
何をだよ。
What are you talking about? Takashi was still confused.
ゲートに入場する時の説明。
The explanation at the park entrance.
だから、それはなんだよ。
So what about it? Looking around, only Takashi and I were surprised. A strange expression floated onto Sarah's face, but it seemed like she knew what was going on. Sugumi's face was blank. Apart from Takashi, it seemed like nobody felt this was anything to be that surprised about.
まったく。
Jeez. Sugumi stood up as if irritated.
もう見ていられないわね。くだらない。
I can't watch any more of this. It's ridiculous. After spitting out those words, she left the conference room. Maybe we were used to it, but we just watched her go. No one tried to stop her.
まあ、つぐみのことは放っておくとして。
We'll just leave Sugumi be.
そら、悪いんだけど、もう一回自己紹介してあげて。
Sora, sorry to bother you, but could you introduce yourself again?
はい、わかりました。
Yes, of course. The punctured can had stopped fizzing. Sora took a step forward towards us carefully as if avoiding the sandwich and straightened up. After a slight bow, she spoke.
私は、茜ヶ崎空。
I am Sora Akanega... Akanegasaki. Excuse me, it's hard for me.
正式名称は LMRSDS4913A と申します。
My official name is LMRSDS4913A.
このレミューの案内係を仰せつかっている人工知能、いわゆる AI プログラムです。
I am an artificial intelligence, or AI, program in charge of guiding visitors around Lemu.
私はレミシステム内の機能の一部として組み込まれていますので、
I have been programmed as one part of Lemeth's system.
手近な端末で呼び出してくだされば、レミューの館内どこにでもすぐに参ります。
If you call me from any nearby terminal, I will soon appear anywhere within Lemu.
また、全館に及ぶ本格的な RSD を採用することで、私の姿形は実現されています。
My
おそ
image
らく世
reaches
界でも珍しいのではないでしょうか。
My image reaches you through a network supporting this RSD system throughout the complex. I think that there are a few places in the world boasting this kind of technology. Huh? Whoa?
やっぱり RSD だったんだ。
So it was RSD.
でも、ここまですごいのは見たことないよ。
But I've never seen one this amazing.
レミューの自慢の出し物の一つだからね。
It's one of Lemu's big attractions.
だから空は停電の間いなくなっちゃってたんだ。
So that's why Sora disappeared during the blackout.
ええ、どうもご心配をおかけしましたね。
Yes, I'm sorry to have caused you undue concern. I had finally lost any sense of what was going on. Takashi looked flustered as well. The conversation had taken off and left me and Takashi behind. What's RSD?
簡単に言うと、半導体レーザーを直接網膜照射する画像表示システム。
Simply put, it's an image display system that uses a semiconductor to shine a laser directly onto your retina. I see. I nodded. I had no clue what she was talking about. But I thought it might have been because I had no memory. It also seemed that any more questions would stall the conversation. So I decided to take an I don't get it, but that's okay approach.
それにしても、ずいぶん高度な人格を持たされてるんだね。
And it is supporting such an advanced personality. The surprising thing was Sarah seemed to be following the conversation the best.
仮想空間を生み出す技術にレミューは相当なこだわりを持っていますから、私の存在もその一環です。
Lemu is fairly perfectionist when it comes to virtual space technologies. My existence is one manifestation of that.
大きなシステムが必要なんじゃない？
Doesn't that require a big system?
そうですね。それでも数十年前に比べればかなり小型になったのではないでしょうか。
Yes, but it is much smaller than it would have been 10 years ago.
どのくらい？それってどこにあるの？見てみたいな。
How big? Where is it? I'd like to see it.
すいません。 私の口からは言えません。秘密なんです。
I'm sorry, but I'm not allowed to say. It's a secret.
詳細なデータを持たされてないの？
You weren't given the details? No, she knows. It's a secret.
ええ、そうです。
That's correct. Lies.
じゃあちょっと質問を変えるけど、空自身の意思は記憶によって変容したり。
What? Well, this is a bit of a different question, but does Sora's personality change based on her memories? The conversation was getting more and more technical. Sarah kept badgering Sora with technical questions. Things about samplings and algorithms and structure, this and code, that jargon was flying around. Them technical words, my head started to hurt. Hey, you. I approached you and tugged on her sleeve. Huh? This conversation is crazy complex. What is with Sarah anyway?
忍びのもの。
She is an internet nerd of sorts. Stop with the stupid jokes. You puffed out her cheeks as if pouting. It didn't seem that she was in the mood for a comeback.
マヨはね、ハッカーなのよ。
Mayo? She's a hacker. Hacker meaning... What's a hacker, or naturally I know what a hacker is? Naturally I know what a hacker is. Is Sarah a programmer?
趣味でやってる程度だって本人は言ってるけど。
Yeah, but she says it's just a hobby. Oh, fat
でも
fingering
彼
keys
女の
again.
腕はプロ顔負けっていうレベルでね。
But she's as good as a pro.
この間なんかクラッキングコンテストで優勝しちゃったぐらいだし。
Just the other day she got first place in some cracking contest. Cracking contest?
暗号破りのコンテストのこと。言っておくけど犯罪じゃないよ。
A contest to break codes. Just so you know, it's not illegal. And you get a government job.
暗号技術の会社が開催する技術の安全性の確認を目的に行われる合法的なクラッキングで。
It was sponsored by some company with code technology. It was legal cracking to test the security of its technology.
そこでハッカーたちに自社のアルゴリズムをわざと攻撃させるの。
The company has hackers attack their algorithms. Kind of like a decryption game contest?
まあそう考えて差し支えないと思う。
I guess that's one way of putting it. Oh, so it's a game.
ゲームだと言ってバカにしない方がいいよ。
Just because you call it a game, I wouldn't take it lightly.
なんたって世界中の腕に覚えのある技術者が参加してたんだから。
There were engineers participating from all over the world.
そこで優勝するってことは世界でも屈指のハッカーということになるの。
Winning it means you're one of the world's best hackers.
世界一って言っても過言じゃないかもしれない。
You could even say the best hacker. The best? That's just way too incredible.
そうね。
I know.
コンピューターにかけては彼女きっと天才よ。
When it comes to computers, she's a genius. I see. It seemed that you truly couldn't tell who a person was by appearances. Apart from being a little mischievous, she just seemed like a normal girl. But Sarah just kept talking with Sora about things I couldn't comprehend. There was a gap between who she appeared to be and who she actually was. I kept staring at Sarah from the side, in a state of semi-awe. In the end, only Takashi was completely surprised that Sora was an AI. Yu was an employee of Lemu, so of course she knew. Before leaving the room, Sugumi hadn't seemed that surprised. Sarah was clever Sarah, as was clear by her questions, had a solid grip on the situation. And the whole situation we were in was so crazy, I didn't know what to be surprised about. Several hours passed. It seemed the sun was getting ready to set. But deep in the ocean, our sense of time was disappearing. Checking my watch was the only way that I knew it was evening. Nothing changed in Lemu. No one had come to pay us a visit. But things hadn't gotten worse. Right now, there was no sign of flooding or impending collapse. We had just been passing the time as we saw fit. For now, we had all forgotten about not being able to escape. It was the rest area. I sat on the bench and looked at the blooming flowers without really seeing them. There was no one else around. We were going to meet again at 7 o'clock. Until then, we had free time. I was thinking about Sora. The revealing of what she really was. Sora's real identity. AI, artificial intelligence, a program, a virtual image. Sora didn't really exist. In other words, Sora wasn't a person. But Sora clearly had a will of her own. She could think and act for herself. I knew that much. But with my limited knowledge, everything other than that was beyond me. There were lots of things I couldn't know. I looked down. The floor was covered with a layer of water. The lights in the ceiling were reflecting in the water. It was like the cold light of the moon. I poked my finger into the water. Plop! The water rippled and the surface shook. The light in the water fragmented into disarray, finally returning to its original shapes. I reached into the water, trying to grab the light, but I could only grab a little seawater. I couldn't touch the light. I tried again and again, but I was getting crazier by the moment.
それでどこからお話ししたらよろしいでしょうか。
So where should I start explaining? More explanation? Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. I wish you start with the basic stuff. Sora was sitting next to me. At least that is how it appeared to be. I had decided to seek out an explanation directly from Sora. What exactly was Sora? It might have been rude asking her outright like this, but I thought that it would be ruder to continue along without really knowing.
わかりました。RSD についてでしたね。
I see. So we're talking about RSD, right? Yes. It might be something that you really don't want to talk about.
それはどうしてですか？
Why would that be? Well, you're not a person. You're Sora. So asking about systems and stuff might be kind of personal. I don't really know how to say it. I just thought that it might be like someone was peeking inside you and kind of unpleasant. My broken explanation brought a soft smile to Sora's face.
そんなことは気になさらなくていいんですよ。
You don't have to worry about that.
少年さんはさっきおっしゃいましたよね。私が何者であっても私は私なんです。
What did you just say? I'm Sora. So I am So I am what I am.
たとえ私の根源に関わるようなことをお話しするとしても、それは私自身を知ってもらうことに他ならないのです。
For example, by explaining about what I am, it is a way for you to better understand me. I squeezed my hand shut. Of course, I wasn't holding anything.
それから実は先ほど倉成さんにもご説明したばかりなんです。
Actually, I just explained all of this to Takashi. Huh? To Takashi?
はい。
Yes. Sora gently put her hand on her chest.
私は皆さんと同じではありませんが、皆さんと同じでありたいと思っています。
I am different from everyone else, but I want to be the same.
だからこそ私は皆さんに私を知ってもらいたいのです。
That is why I want everyone to know about me. Saying that, Sora looked at me and slightly dropped her eyes. I felt like pieces of the puzzle were scattered on the floor of my mind were about to fall into place. Excuse me, let me readjust my comfort. Alright. As if enticed by her grin, I became quiet.
では RSD についてご説明を始めますね。
Well, shall I start with an explanation of RSD? I concentrated on what she was trying to say so as not to miss anything. She placed both of her hands on her chest.
少年さん、ちゃんと私が見えますか？
Kid, can you see me? Yes, I see you.
少年さんのすぐ隣に立っています。間違いありませんか？
As I'm standing right next to you, you sure? I'm positive.
ですが、
But suddenly Sora faced me and reached out toward me. And then, oh! Sora's hand slipped without resistance into my chest. Reflexively, I tried to grab her arms, only my hands met with nothing. My hands were in front of my chest, but there was nothing there.
そう、
Yes.
少年さんは今私を見ています。
So you are seeing me.
しかし私は実際に少年さんの隣にいるわけではありません。
However, I am not right next to you. Saying this, Sora pulled her hand back.
RSD レティナルスキャニングディスプレイ、網膜操作による表示装置です。
RSD stands for Retinal Scanning Display.
この表示装置には表示部がありません。
The display device is not actually a display.
網膜に向けて出力の弱いレーザーが照射されているのです。
Rather, it is a weak laser peering into your eyes. Retina? You mean my eye? Yes.
各部屋や通路の天井には半導体レーザーの出力装置がついています。
In the ceiling of each room and corridor are semiconductor laser output devices.
それで少年さんの網膜自体に直接画像を映し出しているってことになりますね。
So the image is being directly reflected on your retina. Image?
ええ、はい、私の画像です。
Yes, my image. Directly on my retina?
一般的なホノグラフィックスクリーンは背後にある物体を透過してしまいますが、
Holographic screens typically allow for the object behind them to be visible.
眼球そのものを仮想画面として扱い、また周囲背景と合成した画像を高速で送り続けることでその問題はクリアされています。
This system uses the eyeball as a virtual screen and continuously sends an image synthesized with the background scenery. Well, what about your voice? It sounds like your voice is coming from where your mouth is. Mouth appears.
少年さん、3D サウンドって聞いたことはないですか？
Have you ever heard of 3D sound? No, I don't think that's a real thing. Is it a real thing? Hell if I know. 3D sound?
ヘッドホンをつけて音楽を聞いたことは？
Have you ever listened to music using headphones? Huh, probably, but I can't remember, so I don't know for sure.
そうでしたね。失礼しました。
Ah, that's right. Sorry about that.
では答えを言ってしまうと、大抵の人は音が後頭部の中心あたりで鳴っているように聞こえるはずです。
To answer my own question, most people hear sound as if it is reverberating inside the rear center of their head. Inside their head? I tried to visualize what she meant. A melody playing in my mind. I could get a vague sense of what she said. Yeah, I think I kind of see what you mean. I think I've probably heard something like that before.
でも実際には音が頭の中で鳴っているわけではない。
But the sound is not actually coming from inside your head. I suppose not.
これを応用して左右の音量調節および反響音のシミュレートを的確に行うことができれば、
But if you could apply this knowledge and adjust the volume from the left and right to accurately simulate this reverberating sound,
前後左右上下どの方角からでも音が聞こえているように錯覚させることができます。
then you could create the illusion that a sound was coming from any direction above or below, left or right. Oh, I see. Oh, so that would be the voice converters. I still had both of them in my ears. I removed them. They were about the size of my little finger. In front of me, Sora's mouth moved soundlessly. It was like I couldn't hear her voice. But that wasn't at all. Then her image started to get a little fuzzy. Huh? When I replaced the voice converters, Sora returned to normal.
投影する映像の定位の修正を左右対になった変換器の位置で行っているんです。
The image's position is based on the location of the voice converters.
少年さんがどこにいてどちらの方向を向いているのか、
So wherever you stand and which direction and whichever direction you face,
レミはそれを常に館内のセンサーと変換器からのデータを用いてミリ単位で計測しています。
limit is... Oh, that's not a T. That's lemehe. I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Lemehe is constantly using sensors around the complex that monitor the position of the voice converters to the millimeter.
ですから私が 少年さんの背後20メートルの位置にいるときには、
So that when I'm 60 feet behind you,
ちゃんと少年さんの背後20メートルの位置にいるかのように音声が聞こえるようになっているのです。
my voice will sound as if I'm exactly 60 feet behind you.
右にいるときには右から、左にいるときには左から。
When I am to the right, it sounds to the right. When I'm to the left, it sounds to the left.
下にいるときには下から。
When I'm under you, it sounds under. When are you under? Ayo.
と
you know.
とにかくそういうことなんです。わかりました？
Anyway, that's how it works. Do you understand?
少年さん、今度はちょっと左を向いてみてください。
Now try to face a little to the left. I faced to the left as she said. Sora stood and moved around to my right.
さっき私はレミが少年さんの位置と向きを常に把握していると言いましたが、
Just a moment ago, I said that Limit is constantly monitoring your position and direction you are facing.
同時に少年さんの眼球の動きと位置も常に計測し入力しているのです。
At the same time, Limit is also monitoring the position of your eyeballs.
ですから少年さんが動いても私は同じ場所に立っているように見えます。
So that even if you move, I still appear in the same place.
そう見えるような画像をレミがスキャンしているということです。
So that means Limit scans the image to your eye in this way. So you can be made to suddenly disappear or reappear in another place.
見たいですか？
Do you want to see it? No, I think I'll pass. I suddenly imagine Sora disappearing and fleeting around here and there. Somehow, it's kind of like a ghost.
ええ、よく言われます。
Yes, I hear that a lot.
同じ場所にいて同じものを見ているにもかかわらず、ある人には見えてある人には見えない存在。
Being in the same place and looking at the same thing, only some people can see it and some people can't.
私は見たことはありませんが、もし本当に幽霊みたいなものがいるとするなら、
I've never seen one, but if ghosts really do exist,
それはきっと私と同じような存在なのでしょう。
I imagine they exist much the way I do. Huh, now I get it. But there was something that bothers me.
なんでしょう？
What is that? Sora, so you can't be in more than one place at a time? For example, you couldn't be in one room talking to me and another talking with Sarah?
理論上は可能です。
Theoretically, it is possible.
しかし私の場合、それはできない仕様になっています。
However, the way that I'm designed, I can't do that. Why not?
お客様にリアリティを感じていただくためだと思われます。
I imagine it is to help maintain an image of reality for visitors,
世界中に空という存在はたった一人しかいない。
so that there is only one Sora in the world.
そういう設定にしておかないと、お客様の中には混乱なされる方もいらっしゃいますし、
Without that kind of setting, visitors would get confused.
それと制作者のポリシーですね。
And it was the policy of my designer.
私を独立した人格を持った一個のキャラクターとして扱おうとした制作者のポリシー。
The policy of my designer was to create me as a character in a visual novel game, absolutely one singular person.
そういえばユナイテッドランドのキャラクターも同様だと聞いたことがありますね。
That reminds me, I have heard the same thing about the United Land characters.
館内に着ぐるみのマスコットは1体ずつ。
There is only one of each character in the park.
物語の中と同じように、同じ種類のキャラクターが2箇所に存在しないように配慮されているそうですよ。
Like in a story, there can't be any one character in two places at the same time. The time for our gathering was getting near, so Sora and I headed to the conference room. It seemed strange that Sora, who could teleport anywhere, instantly was walking. Maybe she was doing it to humor me. I was wondering about the laser retina scan. So if I were in a place that the laser couldn't reach, then I couldn't see you?
もちろんそうです。ですが、
Of course not, but
出力装置は館内のすべての部屋に設置されていますし、光線を反射させるためのミラーも壁、天井、 床の構造材に埋め込まれています。
The scanning devices are located in every room of the complex, and there are mirrors embedded in the walls, ceilings, and floors to reflect the images.
ほとんどどこにいても私の姿を見せることは可能なはずです。
So almost no matter where you are, I can be displayed. So there are no blind spots?
そういう設定になっています。
That's the way it's designed.
けれど致命的な欠点が一つだけあります。
However, there is one major flaw. Flaw?
私は
I.
誰かに見られることによって初めて具現化することができるのです。
I am only seen when someone looks at me. What?
誰も私のことを見ていなければ私は存在しないも同然ということです。
I mean that I cease to exist when no one is looking at me.
例えばここにいる5人全員が一斉にまぶたを閉じたりしたら、
For example, if the 5 of you here all closed your eyes at once,
その瞬間私の姿はどこにも存在しなくなってしまうのです。
at that moment I would cease to exist. I casually held my hand in front of my eyes. I covered my view forward and looked down near my feet. There was no sign of Sora next to me. It was as if she had vanished or never been there in the first place. Suddenly, surprised, I removed my hands and Sora reappeared in the corridor. The outline of Sora's sandals blurred dimly in the water.
誰かが私を見る、
Someone has to see me.
その行為があって初めて私は姿を現すことができる。
I have to be seen in order to exist.
視線、
Vision.
誰かの視点が私を作るのです。
That someone's eye actually creates me.
少年さん、
Kid,
あなたが目を閉じたとき私は消えてなくなるのです。
when you close your eyes, I disappear. Eventually, we reached the conference room. Sora's face was one big smile, but somewhere in her smile seemed a hint of sadness. At least, it appeared that way to me. It was nighttime. In the ocean, it was only slightly darker than before. Fortunately, the damage to Lemur hadn't worsened. I had a light dinner eating the chicken sandwich that Takashi had made. Incidentally, we had gotten rid of that frozen tuna because nobody knew how to cut it up. After eating, there was really nothing to do. Yawn. 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 Takashi's yawn was contagious.
それにしても眠いね。
Gosh, I'm sleepy.
まあな、特にこれといってすることもないし。
Well, there's really nothing to do either. Everyone was slouched in chairs, just spacing out. There was no impending danger, no new developments. Our situation was unchanged, and it felt like time had stopped.
グラナにだらしないぞ。
Takashi, you're such a slob. You said, but she sounded tired.
だらだらするなよ。
And stopped dawdling.
でもな、今さら館内をうろうろ歩き回ったって大した意味はないだろ。
Look, there's no reason to go wandering around the complex now, right?
結局、助けが来るまで待つしかないんじゃないか。
We're just going to have to wait for help to come anyway, right?
あ、そう。
Yeah, I suppose.
ああ、さてさて、私はちょっから出かけてきますかね。ご一緒。
Alright, I'm off for a little bit. Rubbing her neck and trying to relax her stiff shoulders, you stood up.
あれ？先輩、どこ行くんですか？
What? What? Are you going somewhere?
どこってわけじゃないけど、散歩にでも。
Yeah, nowhere in particular, just a walk.
体動かさないと余計に疲れるのよね、私。
I've gotta move around or I'll get tired.
あ、拙者いいこと思いついたでござるよ。
Hey, I've got a great idea. Sarah raised her hand and stood.
いいこと？
An idea?
みんなで体を動かすような遊びをするでござる。
Ladies and gentlemen, we shall partake in a game to give us some exercise.
いいけど、例えばどんな遊び？
Alright, but what kind of game?
忍者ごっこ。
Ninja tag.
それはちょっとね。
That might be a bit, stupid?
鬼ごっこなんてどうですか？
Well, how about normal tag? Sora seemed up for the idea.
まあそれならいいかな。
I suppose that would be okay.
おし、みんなでやろう。
Alright, everybody, let's play.
おいおい、なんでそんな子供の遊びなんかを。
Hey, hey, you expect me to play some kids game?
ところで少年はどうする？もち参加するよね。
What about you, kid? In or out? What? Me too?
だってみんな参加するって言ってるんだよ。少年もやらなきゃ。
We've been talking about everyone participating, so you're playing too.
私は参加しないわ。
I'm not going to play. I'm acting green.
ちなみに俺もだ。
I'm out too.
もとい。つぐみ以外のみんなは参加するって言ってるんだよ。
I meant that everyone apart from Sugumi is playing anyways.
俺も不参加だって。
I said I'm out. Alright, I'm in. I was pretty much sick of the boredom.
よーし、決まりね。
Alright, it's settled.
田中選手、松永選手、赤根ヶ崎選手、倉成選手、少年選手。以上5名の方がエントリーされました。
We have 5 competitors vying for the title of champion. You, Sarah, Sora, Takashi, and the kid.
でも、ただの鬼ごっこっていうだけじゃつまらないと思いません？
But do you think normal tag will be boring?
そうね。
You're right.
缶蹴りにしてみてはいかがでしょう？
How about kick the can? Sora, you sure have a good grasp of simple games like this.
そういうんじゃなくて、何かこう変わった思考が欲しいのよね。
Not that. Something a little out of the ordinary. We all thought. And then...
仕方ないわね。
Oh well. Sugumi stood up from her chair sluggishly. She walked briskly toward the corner of the room and flipped off the light switch.
なんだよいきなり。暗いじゃないか。
What are you thinking? It's dark.
どう？これで気が済んだ？
How about that? Satisfied?
もううんざり。
I'm fed up.
私までおかしくなりそうだわ。
Even I'm about to go crazy. Sugumi shot us a nasty look and left the room.
何あれ。
What was that about?
さあ。
Who knows?
騒がしいのが気に障ったのでしょうか。
Maybe we were talking too much for her? But still, why turn out the lights?
私までって、おかしいのはあいつの方だろ？
What does she mean, even her? She's the one that's lost it.
でもま、時間が経てば、ちゃんとまた戻ってくるさ。
But she'll be back after a while.
ねえ少年、悪いんだけど電気つけてきてくれる？
Hey kid, would you mind getting the light? Sure. I went to go switch on the lights.
ちょっと待って。
Wait! What is it?
せっかくだからこのままでやろうか。
Since the lights are off, why don't we try the game with them off? Huh?
暗いところで鬼ごっこ。あ、じゃないや、缶蹴りをするの。
We'll play tag. No, kick the can in the dark. Sarah took one of the empty cans from the table.
名付けて闇鬼。
We'll call it Yamioni.
面白そうじゃない。それで決定。
That sounds cool. Let's go with that.
私も賛成です。
I concur. It's a bit more exciting than normal tag.
当然、倉成も OK だよね。
Of course, Takashi's good with it, right?
たく、しょうがねえな。
Jeez, whatever. So we unanimously agreed, except for Sugumi, to play Kick the Can in the Dark. We decided who was it using rock, paper, scissors.
せーの、じっけぴ。
Seno, Jikenpi.
が、負けた。
Damn, I lost. Takashi was out on the first try.
じゃあ、倉成が最初の鬼ってことで決定。
Alright, so Takashi is it first.
決定。
And it's settled.
頑張ってくださいね。
Good luck. Everyone was grinning at Takashi. Takashi looked about as sorry as it was as possible for him to look. Here you go, Takashi. I handed the empty can to Takashi.
でもって隠れられるエリアはこの3回全部。よーしみんな隠れるぞー。
But hiding anywhere is okay as long as it's on the third floor. Okay, let's hide.
よーい
Ready?
ちょっと待った。
Oh, wait a sec. Takashi held up a hand hurriedly, stopping you from sending everyone off.
いいお前、今なんて言った？
You, what did you just say?
隠れるぞ
Let's hide.
違う、その前。
No, before that.
隠れられるのは3回全部
You can hide anywhere on this third floor.
マジかよ。
Are you serious?
会議室の中とかじゃなくてか？
Not just the conference room?
この部屋だけじゃ狭いし隠れられるとこが少ないじゃない
This room is too small, and there aren't that many places to hide, but I thought it was kick the can.
だからって3回全部かよ。
But the whole third floor?
あ、もちろんここから歩いていけないエリアはダメだよ非常通路とか階段に隠れるのもなし
Oh, of course. The areas you can't walk from here are off limits, and the emergency corridors and stairs are no good either.
それでも広すぎるわ。
That's still too big.
鬼が振りすぎる。一人探してる間に絶対他のやつにやられるぞ。
While it's not fair for the person that's it. While he's looking, he's sure to get it from somebody else.
いいじゃないそのくらい
I think it's fine.
よくない。ゲームが成り立たない。切実な問題だ。
It's not fine. The game won't work. That's a major problem.
まあ文句が多いな
Gosh, you sure complain a lot.
まあまあ、確かにハンデがありますね。そうですね。
Well, he would certainly appear to be at a disadvantage.
それでは3階フロアの照明はすべて落としますが、代わりに音がよく聞こえるようにしましょうか。
I will dim the lights on the third floor, but in return, I will make it so that the sounds carry better.
音が大きく聞こえれば、水のある通路を誰かが移動していればわかります。これなら鬼の人が有利ですね。
If the sounds carry, then you can hear when somebody moves across a corridor with water. That will give the person who's it an advantage.
それから私も移動中の場所がわかるようにします。足音を合成して音声変換器に発信しますから。
And I will make it so that you know where people are moving. I will synthesize footsteps and dispatch the data to your voice converters.
オッケー、そうしてくれ。
Alright, that sounds better. I would like to play this game.
あ、でも、もし缶にたどり着いたら、私どうしましょうか。
Oh, but what should I do if I should get to the can first? Huh? Oh,
あ、そうか。空は缶が蹴れないじゃねえか。
that's right. You can't kick the can. The can must be like a home base kind of deal thing. Never play tag like that. We'd only just noticed if we play tag, we would just have to ban Sora from jumping about as an image.
じゃあ私がペアになってあげる
Then I'll team up with you.
鬼ん時も逃げて隠れる時も空と私は常に半径1メートル以内にいなくちゃいけないってことにするの
We'll make it so that Sora and I have to be within a yard of each other when we hide or when we are it.
そうすれば私が缶を蹴ればいいんだし
So I can kick the can.
ねそうしよ
Okay, let's try it this way.
はい、お願いします。
Okay, thanks. On the top that we made Sora promise not to use the bioscan or lemur to monitor the location of anyone. Yeah, that makes it fair then.
うおーし準備よーし
Alright, all set? It looked like everyone was ready.
じゃあ数えるぞ。
So I'll count.
1、2、3。
Each Nissan. Saki bomb! Yeah. As Takashi started counting, we dashed out the conference room. We left the room in a group. Splash, splash, splash. The sounds of our stepping through water sounded deeper than before. I get it, so this is what she meant by making the sound bigger. I thought that we would have to pay attention to which sounds were our own and which others. And we'd have to determine which footsteps belonged to the person that was it. But for the person that was it was easier because everyone else was the enemy. That pretty much negated any advantage we might have had. At least that's what I thought. After we had run a fair bit...
はいストップ
Okay, stop. You who had been running at the front of the pack stopped us. What's up?
先輩早く隠れないと見つかっちゃいますよ
If you don't hide, he'll find you.
まあまあいいから話を聞きなさいって
Don't worry about it, just listen.
何か作戦があるようですね。
It appears he has some kind of strategy. Strategy?
そうその通り。
Yes, exactly right.
このまま普通に行けばバラバラになって隠れるだけなんだけど、
If we continue like this, then we'll just get all separated and hide.
それだと負ける可能性も高いわけじゃない？
But that increases the chance that we'll lose. But that's the way the game works, isn't it?
甘い甘いぞ少年。ゲームといえども男なら必ず勝ちを取りに行かねばならんのだ。
You're so naive. In games, a man is supposed to want to win. But aren't you supposed to be a girl, you? I stopped myself from saying that in the nick of time.
でも先輩、必ず勝つ方法なんてないですよ。
But there's no way to guarantee a win, right?
本当にそう思うのかね、マヨくん。
Mayo, is that really what you think? You said this as she played with Sarah's braids. Well, hurry up and tell us already.
私たちにあって鬼にないもの、それを検証すればおのずと答えは見えてくるでしょ。
If you think about what we have and what Takashi doesn't, then you'll get it in a flash.
私たちにあって
What we have? What Takashi doesn't?
人数ですね。鬼、倉成さんは一人だけです。
Numbers. We are many. Takashi is one.
その通り。
Yes, that's it. Okay. I'm gonna leave this episode here before we go off on our little game of tag, kick the can in the dark thingy. I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll see you all next video.